What's up everyone, welcome back to a new replay. Today we're gonna be watching Harstem, myself, versus Mr. Serral. A game that I recently played on the ladder. Serral around 7.3k MMR. At the time I was around 6.7k MMR. So let's see what exactly happens. Now, Simulacrum is one of those maps where recently a couple of things changed. So these rocks got added. This area got a little bit more narrow, so easier to wall for both TOS and Terran players. And I think that's pretty much it for all the changes that we had on this map. There is a Reaper Cliff, of course not going to be very useful in this matchup as it is a ZVP. Now we see Harstem opening up with a simulator first, which most likely means that he won't scout. If you open a simulator first, you will increase your gas count, then get a gateway afterwards, and it's slightly better economically if you don't scout. If you do scout, it's pretty similar economically, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, because in that case you'd have a harder time defending stuff like 12 pool and just early pools in general, because it would delay your core and your first zealot. 20 Nexus going down the other end. We see Serral opening up with a good old Overlord Scout. Here I do some nice promotions. We have a Cyber Core going up as well, and then comes the Probe Scout. Now, this Probe Scout isn't really to scout for 12 pool or anything like that. It would be in time for a 17 or a 16 pool. To still react to something like that, but against the 12 pool you just die. This is mainly to see how many links are being built and where they're being sent, so you have a clue as what's on the map. It's always very important for Protoss players to know exactly what's on the map, and you will be able to do that with this probe. You arrive around 210, the links finish around 218 usually, and then you can check, hey, maybe some links are going to the top side of the map, maybe some links going to the bottom side of the map, and you can send your adept there accordingly. Now, first step does get chronoed, Stargate gets started, immediately followed up by a warp gate. One of the advantages of getting that gas first, that you have a lot of gas, so warp gate starts very quickly after the Stargate already. This probe does see 3 links on the bottom side of the map. I didn't see where Harstem didn't see where the 4th link went, so can't really move out right now with that adept. We'll need to wait for his second adept to finish before he can easily move out across the map. We see Serral moving forward with his Overlord, really trying to get some extra vision perhaps of my main base. Stargate is almost done and most likely will be an Oracle first. Link gets found, which means that Serral won't get any information from his links, and that he will need to start using Overlords. Now, second adept finishes up and Harstem chases across the map. We'll be trying to do some damage there. Chrono boost on both the next time means there's no chrono boost whatsoever on this Oracle, so we'll be pretty slow to get to the other side of the map, but that's gonna be okay because Harstem has a special plan. Second gateway built perfectly in sync with Warp Gate finishing up. Twilight gets placed down as well, and this most likely means there will be no second Stargate unit, and with the timing of this Twilight Council you can hit a very tight timing with 8 to 10 adepts off of 2 gates. And try to do damage to your opponent. If they build a Roach Warren at around 430, which is kind of standard, they will be too late with the Roaches, and the Protoss player will be able to do a lot of damage. Now, the Oracle here is mainly a scouting tool, and a tool that helps your adepts get across the map. But once again, mainly a scouting tool, so just checking gases, checking layer timings, and ideally Harstem wants to have a poke in at that natural base as well. Glaives has started right now. A couple of chrono boosts will be going down on that from the Protoss player, as we see a Roadworm being started very fast. 418 it went down. That's about 12-13 seconds faster than you usually would have it as a Zerg player. Now, Serral did completely scout everything. Sees another chrono boost going down on top of that Twilight Council. Harstem is moving out with those 5 adepts, 1 adept left in the wall. Oracle kind of ferrying between those adepts in front and this third base, making sure no links can kill this adept. 2 more adepts will get warped in soon, and that's when the move out starts. A third chrono should hit the Twilight, yes. And this basically means that there will be a pretty tight time. A couple of roaches will start for Serral immediately. Oh, very big mistake here by Harstem, who splits up his adepts, and half of the adepts get caught by a group of links. 2 adepts fall for free basically. 2 more adepts will get warped in as a way to defend this wall. Oracle will have to stay at home, but this is not really what you want, right? You want to get as many adepts to the other side as quickly as possible, and now Harstem's push also is delayed a little bit because he had to go back to deal with that. He had to wait in the middle, wasn't shading forward, and this basically means that the glaive adept push didn't really do anything, and he's just gonna go lick his wounds, go back home most likely. Maybe he will be able to do some damage later on with these adepts. Shade him from the bottom side, shade him from the top side into a 4th base, maybe into a prism, into the main. There's lots of options there. Serral in the meantime does have an Evo chamber done. We see Glial Reconstitution starting. So it's called Glial Reconstitution. The roach speed, of course, starting the moment the lair finishes. Majority of the games. A couple of links dying here for Serral, but does get some decent information. Might be able to force out a couple of force fields. Mediocre control on those links. Won't be able to do anything. So even though the Protoss player didn't really manage to kill anything, he still forced a lot of units. We see 8 roaches, a bunch of links. I mean, 16 links have gone down over time, so a bunch of links did fall in the end, and the economical situation of the Protoss isn't that bad. Equal workers with a Zerg is always something I'd be quite happy with. Now we see Serral opening Overlord speed. This is something we've seen him do a lot lately, where he'll get Overlord speed, start dropping with Overlords around the map, and like that, really tries to get some damage on while attacking 2 Brute Lords. Harstem, of course, is aware of this. Will be chasing away this Overseer with his Phoenix. Actually, does get Overlord speed. Might be able to get it. Oh, Serral, here comes the rescue squad. Final second, transfuses, and Harstem will need to pull back this Phoenix before it dies. A couple of Overlords are being spread here. This is a Dropper Lord. This is a... Oh, actually, it's not a Dropper Lord. Here is a Dropper Lord. So a couple of Banelings in both of these Overlords might be able to deal some damage. We see Harstem is getting prepared. There's 1 cannon in the mineral line here. 1 cannon about halfway done. Slightly more than halfway done. Oh, this Dropper Lord did get spotted by this Oracle, but was Harstem paying attention is the question. Where's that Phoenix? Yeah, okay, Harstem was paying attention. So Phoenix will be able to catch this Dropper Lord together with the cannon and the Stalker. Even a little bit of a pro pool here. We have 4 more Banelings going into the main base right now. Is there any warpings available? Yes, there is 4 Stalkers being warped in. We'll be able to deal with this Baneling drop just fine. And right now, for Harstem, this is a nice position. We killed a couple of Banelings, killed 2 Overlords for free. You can see that it works. That's pretty cool. But I mean, it doesn't work. Unless you have +2 on Banelings, it's kind of irrelevant if they drop into that mineral line. And now, Harstem is in position. Basically for the rest of the game here, as there's a little bit of a run by coming in from this ramp. He wasn't completely ready for that. But we'll lose almost no workers. Goes up to 72 workers in general, starts +2. Should be starting Storm very quickly as well, as right now is a very good time to get that Storm while you're getting that 4th base, which is easier to defend because of these rocks. I wouldn't mind seeing a battery or 2 here as well. Prism is on the map, but immediately gets spotted by Serral, who, of course, is amazing map vision. Look at that. Creep spread going everywhere. Overlords and links, changelings. Basically spread all across the map. Now, we have another Overlord drop going into the main, but Harstem still has his 4 Stalkers there. Let's see what his response time is. It's gonna be about 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah, 4 or 5 seconds is completely in time. This will most likely die, and Serral will drop 2 Banelings, but gonna get 2 probes, so definitely not worth it for him. I think Harstem noticed this Overlord as well, so this Overlord will also get attacked, and then all of a sudden 4 Overlords, 3 filled with Banelings, will have died for free, and Harstem is getting in a pretty decent position, because all these Banelings are not going to be in the army. All these Overlords will need to be replaced. It costs a lot of money for Serral, who won't really be able to attack into his opponent right now. The Protoss player will be the one that most likely is going to be aggressive. Oh. Final Baneling does not drop. A couple of Archons being warped in. Storm is getting close to being done. +2 is getting close to being done. And we have another run-by setup here. Protoss player will find that with his charge lock, his own run-by basically. He will be able to clear a couple of those Banes before they really will be able to get any damage down. +2 barely doesn't... Oh, does finish in time. So one Baneling managed to splash a bunch of workers here. We have another run by on the other side of the map. Gets taken down by this Archon. Decent storms coming down on top of Serral's army. Run by might be able to do some damage. Is there any static defense? No, there is not. There's a couple more links. 46 more links on the way. Serral is not ready for this adept run by either. These are good run bys here for Harstem, which gives him the opportunity to move on the map. Now this is painful because this is most likely gonna cost him a lot of workers here. Run by gets pulled back with an Archon as well, so actually we'll be able to get in a good position right now. And if he's patient, look at the gas count. There's no prison here. Needs to be a little more patient in order to win this fight. Baneling's coming from the back. We'll be able to splash on top of those Templar, but the army for Harstem still looking relatively scary here. The problem is there's no Zealot reinforcers. There's a bunch of Zealots coming from here. More Zealots should be getting warped in soon. He's getting cleaned up, but he still has a pretty decent bank. There's an Archon on them. Ooh, GG. Perhaps a little bit of a mistake here out of Harstem, as there's no Greater Spire yet. The upgrades were looking good for him. No Adrenal Glands was done. He had Storm. He had a lot of gas in the bank. And he cleared a decent amount of creep in this area. So I feel like he could have at least tried a little bit longer, but I'm not going to blame the guy. You know, Serral is a top player, so... You know, and I know that Harstem a bit. He doesn't shine too much in the late game. So perhaps a wise decision. Save some time as Serral takes this game. Now, if you did enjoy it, feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to comment on which players you do want to see, and I'll try my best to get them. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.